for election. Once we say we have election, what is it that we do? My colleague has taken us through history of what electoral and innovation has. But on that election day, what actually happens? Now, for us in INEC and in Nigeria, election starts on Friday. And that is where we camp our people and we put them at the rack, what we call a rack. It's a camping area where we put all the adult staff. There's a registration area camp. You know, it contains a registration area. A registration area has polling unit, all those small areas where our parents go queue to vote. We can have 10 of them, we can have more than 10, staying in what we call the rack. So my colleague, Ms. Hawa Oladeye, has some materials, samples of materials that are shared, and so she will give us the sample of materials. So I have 2 men, 2 female. So I have 1, 2, 12. So please come forward. Quickly, I need you out. Now, usually we should sleep. There are documentations towards that. So further copies for you so that you follow through. PO. Everybody say PO. PO. Now we have the assistant presiding officer 1. So we will call him assistant presiding officer 1. APO 1. Everybody say PO 1. APO 1. So we have APO 3 here, who is the queue controller, assistant presiding officer 3. So we have him who is the queue controller. Everybody say APO 3. APO 3. Okay, so I will have one more volunteer who will serve as APO 2. I'm going for a female gender. Must have at least 1 police officer who will not carry gun. The Constitution said they will carry a baton. That is that wooden stick they have. But outside the polling unit, we have other security agents, maybe other police, MOPO, military, Air Force, who are guarding the security of the perimeter. But within the polling unit, we must have 1 security agent, Nigerian police. And this is our police for the day. Oga, how you doing? So now, for the presiding officer, he is usually the coordinator. Who is our presiding officer? What's your name? Okay, Chukwemeka Benjamin is our presiding officer. You are the team leader, and your duty is when they give you you collect the material, my colleague will explain to you, and then you do it. Let me just tell us to hand over the mic to her. The assistant presiding officer 1, that is you. Okay, your duty is to verify verifications. You verify them using the beavers that was shown to us before. Then the assistant presiding officer 2, that is you. Your duty is that you will check the register of names. If the name is accurate, you will also aid the voters, put in on their corticals, on their fingernails, between the fingernails and the skin, and then you will also help us fill a form. If there are PWD that came, if there are male, if there are female, you will fill the form. So at this point, we also have APO 3, who is the queue controller. This is him here, or this is her here. He's the queue controller. The queue, he will organize that people are coming in. He will ensure that the card, the PVC that you are bringing is accurate for that polling unit, and then he will tell you to join the queue. When it's your turn, the APO 3 will ask you go forward and see the necessary person. At this point, I want to hand over to Mrs. Hawa Oladeye to help us talk about
Over time, I'll go quickly to people look at the record and accounting purposes. That's where you record every material that you receive. We have the polling unit booklet where you can find those forms. Then we have the posters. The posters are the ones that give you directions to where activities are taking place. They are also the ones that give you notification of what activities are taking place. Then we have what we call the stationery. We have the biros, my colleague earlier mentioned it. We have the biros, we have the election bag, where let me just call it a support or an assistive material. We have the ink, we have the markers and the rest of it. Then we have what we call the seeing here. That's the voting cubicle. We call it the payers space. Okay, that's the ballot box. And we have the voting cubicle. The voting cubicle and the ballot box is just to ensure what is the provisions of the law. Then we have the sensitive materials. And PO is handling the sensitive materials here, ballot paper. Then we have the result sheet. The ballot paper is just for you to indicate your choice of interest. As the voters come forward, we have the various political parties in the ballot paper stack. You see we have about 18 political parties. So when you open the ballot paper, you will see 18 political parties. Usually it is printed across parties and voters. The quantity is according to the number of registered voters, while the choice is according to the number of parties. Then we have the result sheet. We have a sample of the result sheet where they're going to collect other materials. We consider them as non-sensitive because with or without them, the elections can take place. With that said, I think we can go quickly into the practical.
So going back to the practical, also serve as our party agent. So you are for party A, you are for party B, C, your party is party D. That is the name of your party. At this side behind the queue guard, voters. So queue controller ensure that you create queue. On election day where you are in a community where they don't allow male and females to mingle, you can share the line. One line for male, one line for female. INEC, we are very considerate. We take care of people living with disabilities, visibly pregnant women, elderly. So one of our teachers, we want a volunteer who will serve as an elderly. Sir, please, we serve as an elderly. So anytime you come, the job of the queue controller is to give you priority access. That is, it doesn't allow you to stay long on the queue. It allows you to call, vote, and then now for the make sure that the voter understands that without the permanent voter's card, you cannot vote. And that your permanent voter's card must belong to that polling unit where you are. Because the Constitution Electoral Act does not allow voting by the house. You send it up to vote, you must come that day with your permanent voter's card and present yourself. So we have assumed all these things has been done, and we are now on voting day proper. So now the queue controller, you can ask the first person to come in. Yes. So sure that your card belongs to that polling unit, and that the card you are presented, the name as your face, and then they will now verify you using the beavers. You will slot it in the beavers will read, and after reading, it will ask you to put your fingerprint at this fingerprint sensor point. So we are going to take his picture. Yes, he has put the fingerprint there. Yes. Now it has read his picture. We are assuming this. You know you are too young to register. Yes. So we are assuming that this card has party agent.
Give her your contact back.
So when she sees the name, she will tick. There is a ticking portion on the register. She will tick that this person has come to vote. And after ticking, we mark the cortical. After marking the cortical, he will now go to the presiding officer, who will issue him or her a ballot paper. He is now going to using the system of voting Nigeria is using. Everybody say open secret ballot system. You will fold it there and drop it in the open. The second voter too, please make it snappy, be fast, check the name, see, and repeat the process. So now we are assuming that they all have voted, and then they will count. Party agent, are you okay with what you have done today? These are the party agents. Two here, two you have voted. They are trying to stop things short. Now, write it on the now shout. Party A agent. So just bring your biro, sign your results. Party agent. Concludes the voting process. A round of applause for all of us. So the party agents are collecting their results, they are signing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause.
We thought our basket will not be full. But as I speak with you now, we are overloaded. Thank you so much. We appreciate this. We've learned so much. I know children, I know some of your questions have been answered, right? At least most of us here, with the kids, they have not been at election venue, but they have seen what it's like. I believe when they get to that age, it will not sound foreign to them. We thank you so much. You have given us, in fact, you have done what Napoleon could not do. Thank you.